Hello and welcome back to Moss Valley. It is now February 3. Winter is pretty much done, but we've got a few more things to sort out before we get into the full swing of spring. So let's head into the farm a little bit more and see what we've got going on. Now, I did consider doing a contract or two through like late December, early February, but it was mainly just more ploughing, and we had the subsoil on lease. That's been returned now, and then everything else was just dead wood or collect up the logs. So I thought, you know what, we'll just try and progress through, and we'll hit the end of February, and we'll try and get into spring and get some jobs done. But I did manage to, obviously I had enough time, did manage to finish all of our own subsoiling. Like I said before, we're going to leave the stones down and we're going to pick both of these fields at the same time. I did do some repairs on the JCB. There's been some repairs done on the Fen. We do need to probably touch up the Massey a little bit. She could do with a clean as well. She's proper dirty. Our chickens, if we go and have a look, have been busy. We've got nearly 4 full pallet of eggs, so they may get sold because that's quite a bit there. Chicken wise, we're now up to 403. I think we need to start selling soon, but it's not. If we sell them direct, I think we're at a loss if we sell the small ones, which seems silly, but it's just how it is. And it's the big ones that are producing the eggs for us at the minute, so I don't really want to sell them. But we are getting new chicks every couple of months. Our cows, bless them, they're all right. They are partway through their reproduction. I think they're about halfway through, so we've got a little while yet before we're going to get any calves, I think. Feed-wise, they've got 35,000 litres. Most of that is still hay. They've had TMR, which has helped to bolster the milk production. We're already up to nearly 5,000 litres of milk, so we're going to get selling that again today to bring some money in. Straw is fine. They've got some slurry in there, which is pretty good. We might try and use that, or something that we could do is get another slurry reserve tank and transfer our slurry and store it up until we've got loads, and then it's a little bit more viable to use rather than maybe only having enough slurry to do one meadow. I don't know, that's sort of what I'm thinking. But as for their feed, I'm trying to let their TMR go right down so they eat into some of the hay, and then we'll feed up fill up with TMR again. But I think first off we'll get ready and we'll sell the milk. Like I say, it should be worth a fair bit. We got quite a lot for about 4,000 litres of milk last time. Got us nearly 10 grand, or more than 10 grand, I think. So, yeah, this morning we'll hook the Massey up and we'll do another run to the dairy. And before we drop this off and get this sold, you'll notice top right, we're down to 310,000. I think when you guys left early January, I think it was, we were at 318. I believe our loan repayments alone last month was 16 grand, and that's with us paying some of it back. So we'll see what February's is in total when we tick through, so we sort of know what we're looking at. But we may try and repay some of that debt with this milk money as well. But I have got some farm developments I'd like to do, so we'll see how things are looking on the finance. There we go, we're in. So we'll sell that. So that's 11 grand, so that's nice, that's helpful. So we'll pay back another 5,000 right now. So yeah, in the finances, you can see December was when we made the money from the silage. January was our harvest income, and we were still, because we purchased a field, still made a loss of nearly 4 grand. But you can see our loan repayments, 16, 16, 19 in December. Whether there was like an annual thing there, so we paid a little bit more at the end of the year, that might be, I don't know. But we got 16 here, and so far in February we've already paid 10, so I think this might be down. No, it's going to look like it's about 16 again as well. So yeah, 16 a month. But let's pay a little bit more. And that leaves us with 4.89 million left on the debt. Our stock checker tells us that our eggs are worth about 10 grand. So we're going to sell nearly 4 pallets worth, that's what it is. Another 10 grand is not to be laughed at. So try and get these loaded on here. I've reconfigured the trailer. Is that down? That's down now. Took the sides off, so hopefully that'll be alright. Get these on here. Smooth. Smooth loading as always. I know we should really be coming at it from the other way, but it's a bit tight getting in there. So the side on is fine, we can get the pallet forks under. So yeah, it's just sort of the end of the winter jobs, trying to make some money still. Like I say, I've got some developments I want to do today before we tick through into the real work and start sowing our grass again. We're going to be selling our eggs at the garden centre, which, if I remember rightly, is just up past the stall. And as you can see, we've got an extra 1 litre, I think, of of eggs, or however many go into that one little stack. Just as I picked up the last pallet, that one spawned behind me, so I had to move it so I could get the telehandler out there. So that's coming with us. So we've got 3,860 litres of eggs. So I think in here somewhere is our sell point. Oh, perhaps we're just driving over that one. I'm not sure if we buy or sell manure there as well. I forget a lot of things. So will these go in? By unstrap? They will. So another 10,000, nearly 11,000 on that one. I'm going to pay back another 5 because every little bit helps. And on the way back to the farm as well, I'm going to stop off and grab some bags of seed and some bags of fertilizer as well. So we'll probably be back down to about 300 grand again. So I grabbed 4,000 litres of fertilizer, 4,000 litres of seeds, and that's cost us about 10 grand. So the milk sale and the egg sale, as well as paying off a little bit of the debt, has paid for our seed and fertilizer. Now we do have some in the shed, but I'm going to keep this on the back of this little wagon, because I think when it comes to doing our seeding and our planting, that this can then serve as a little bit of a tender wagon, so we can take this out and refill our seeder from it and what have you. So that's what I'm thinking here with this one. If I can reverse it in. Lovely job. So the next thing I want to do in preparation for our new full year on the farm is make some more changes. And we are going to start by selling this hog house because we're not using it at the minute. I was considering this one, but I'd like to move more chickens over to here. But that'll probably just be a case of buying more chickens and letting them reproduce in there. And then we'll keep this hog house for when we possibly do pigs. We may not. We may end up selling all of these and having our other animals set up at other positions and other parts of the map. But for now, I'm going to make a sale of that, and we're going to put something else different in there. I think we should get about 24, so it's obviously diminished a little bit, not a lot. But we've, yeah, 24 grand, so we'll sell the pig pasture. And I think the chicken would be worth the same, but we're not going to sell that. And then what I want to do is get a new shed in here. Now, I've had a little look over the few months at what I want to get in here. I've got a lot of choices. And what I want to go with is the MA7 Studio Legrand shed. I believe that's the one. I think this is really nice. Now, these A lot of these MA7 ones are private conversions, so I've not done like first looks or anything on that, but a lot of the MA7 is now coming across, so maybe we'll get to see a little bit more. But yeah, we're going to be using this one. I want to pop that on here because we can store anything in this. We just want a little bit more space for machinery and vehicles and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to disrupt the terrain too much. We'll do some smoothing, but also I'd like to get in, because I really like the idea of it, is the wooden barn with water. It's collecting water off the guttering, and we're just going to pop this here because I do want to eventually get greenhouses down here, and then we can use this water fill feature to service our greenhouses. Now I'm not quite sure which will be the best direction to face. I think that way. I think that'll look fine there. Not in the way too much. We'll still be able to get things about. Right, I'll just check my terrain, make sure everything's smooth, and yeah, we'll have a better look at it. So there we have it, our two new sheds. This one will give us our water refill. Plenty of room in here for some machinery. And it does have its lights as well. And then over here, again, plenty of room for machinery. We can even store extra bales or pallets or anything in here. This is a lovely shed, absolutely lovely. Really nice. Got the skylights on it as well. I've tried to smooth things out a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but you know what? It'll do for us. It'll do for us. So yeah, I think for February, work-wise, we're pretty much done. Let's just check, again, just check the animal feed. So for our chickens, they're all right halfway through. We'll probably top them up soon. And then the cows, we're waiting for that TMR to go. So another day or two, and that will probably be it. So what we need to do is get some rest and come back in March ready to start sowing. So it's the morning of March 1. It is officially year 2 now. We are into year 2. We are making moves. We've got 313 in the bank. Our debt is down to 4.85 million. It's good. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to go and head to the store. That's where we're going now. And grab ourselves a seeder, because we need to start planting our grass meadows. We do still have some fertilization to do on the wheat field, but I think it's best to get started and get this grass in the ground. So we have had a few seeders and planters join since we were last here, I think, and I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm just picky or fussy or just I just want that one or two particular planters, but I still don't really have what I think I'm looking for. I don't want something as big as the Pronto 6 meters just for planting our grass meadows. Just seems a little bit excessive. It's quite expensive as well, and I don't want to go with the same old like Nordstein, or I mean we've got this International here, but I just think that's maybe not for this map. We could, I think I don't want anything big. I don't want anything big. I'm going to go with the Pronto 3 DC. It's only 3 meters. But these aren't big meadows. And we're only planting grass. We don't need the extra capacity. I'm only going to be leasing it. Ridge mark. I'm not going to worry about the ridge markers. So yeah, 55 grand. So what's that to lease? So our base cost is 1,000. So that's our deposit. It's going to cost us 550 a day, and then 1,000 for every hour. So our initial 2,800. So yeah, we're going to lease that. And I believe this is one that Giants have brought over from the Horse pack of 22. I quite like the horse stuff. But yeah, I think this is more than enough just to seed our fields. What I'd really like is the little, again, I like little stuff. I'd like to see the little Cavernlands come over and stuff like that. But this'll do. This'll do for us. So we'll get that hooked on and we'll get that onto the farm. I will fill it with the seed that's in storage. I want to leave the seeds and the fertilizer on the wagon until we need to pull the wagon out. So we'll get the seeds from out of our storage shed, and we're going to head down to the 2 meadows furthest away, our 2 smallest meadows. So we've got 2,000 litres of seed in the seeder. Grass seed usually goes quite well. Now the was it 3DC is still quite long, but we've managed to get around and get about. We did it. Yeah, a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I think we've got quite a few seeders that are sort of 3 and 4 meter working with, but still really long, and that's what I was trying to avoid. Really long ones, but this is a little bit longer than I thought it was initially going to be, but it's going to do the job. I think it's going to be plenty for getting us a grass meadow in, and it looks to have a pretty decent working speed as well. We've got loads of horsepower with the JCB for pulling this, so these jobs shouldn't take us too long at all. But we are planting, we are farmering, which is good. That's what we need to be doing. But we need to be crop farming as well. We need to be getting crops in. I can't wait to be making some moves on growing some crops and expanding the farm and doing more. It's going to be a bit of a slog to get there, but we're good with that. Now I probably should have started in the middle and then worked on the headland afterwards, but I was just excited to get in the field and start working. So this one will be a bit of a mess. Next one will probably be a bit tidier. That's how it goes. It's how it goes. I would also like to take a little bit of time as well to thank everyone for the very kind messages a few episodes ago when you know, I revealed our bad news. It was very kind of you, very sweet of you. Let you know that Mum is feeling all right. She's had a few appointments and they've sort of got a bit of a plan in place for her, which is good. So hopefully that all goes well for her. She's a bit overwhelmed still by it, but yeah, it's looking more positive than initially feared, so that's good. And a little update on the map. VR got his feedback from Giants, I think early last week, so he's got his list of things to update and sort in there. I think someone did ask him about it, and he did post the feedback in there, so if you want to check out what he needs to do, it's publicly available in his Discord. But there's also that, and then obviously all the bugs and the issues that playtesters have reported over the past few months. So he's busy working on that. So you know, hopefully at some point we will see an update to the map. When the update comes, I will do my best to bring everything up to date within our save on it as quickly as possible, so we can continue on with what we're doing. Now this is where it's going to look a mess. Now it only ever looks a mess now. Well, not just now. My farming often looks messy, but it looks a mess now because of the tyres with the ground deformation. Looks a bit messy on the ends. But like I say, hopefully the next meadow I'll remember to start in the middle. This is one of them things. I was just excited to get in there and do it. Get excited to do farming. So I've been in and out of the game since the last little bit. So our bushes are back to being green. I have let VR know that that's a thing. Our bushes keep changing colour. And I've also, as you can see, I've painted a little spot of grass around this pole, just in case in the future we decide that we want to put a worker on here or something. Then they're not going to have issues with getting around the pole. So I'm just going to go around a couple of times because I noticed I missed a little bit on the other side. Hopefully we'll get it this time round. Got good coverage, there we are. And then we can try and start working somewhat up and down. And then we'll try and do headlands at the end. Again, this is a small meadow, so I'm not going to worry too much about GPS. We just sort of crack on and do our thing. You can tell I've been out because my lights have gone off. So I think if we pretty much wheel to the end, need to try and get some sort of rhythm and routine of doing this. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it with the island. Then we go from here, and I'll do what I normally do, and I'll just sort of keep coming up and down on myself. That's one does. And see how it goes, and then we'll just put the headland in to tidy up at the end. I think one of the advantages of coming out of game and then coming back in is that I've lost all the nasty tyre tracks that were in the neighbouring fields, so we don't have to see them every time I go past it from where I just drove everywhere. Although we're just going to have lots here because I know this is going to look a mess near its end, but once again, it's Mr. Farquhar farming, isn't it? This is what we come to expect. Let's see how we can go. Where do I want to go? I want to try and fill in, if I'm honest, the gap either side of this. I'll make the hash of it, but we'll just crack on. Once it's done, it'll look fine. I promise. It'll look fine. You won't even know. So we're all finished now in the second meadow, field 75, I believe it is. Just rerunning the headland with a big overlap to make sure we get all the areas. Because sometimes you get that little bit of meadow or that little bit of field that's got the grass on, and you can sort of cut into it and get yourself a few extra litres of whatever crop you got going. We do have some overlapping trees down here that I've been snagging on, so at some point we're probably going to come down with a saw, because I think we'll be able to plant under them, because as you can see they're cut right in there, but we can't get in there because of the trees. Also spotted a floating tree, so I grabbed a screenshot of that and we'll send that off. Yeah, just running the overlap, make sure it's clean and tidy. Like I said, you wouldn't even be able to notice that I did it all dodgy at the start. Once it's in, it is what it is. Got a few little stray bits where we've had to go in where I missed, but not bad. Not bad at all. I'm hoping that little spot there is not going to leave a hole. We'll see. There's nothing, for me anyway, it's one of those things, nothing more annoying than when you've sown a nice meadow and then there's a little spot in the middle that don't grow. And you have to come back out and plant it, and then you have like a big patch in the middle of your grass. But I think, from what I've seen of certain farmers who do dairy farming and whatnot, sometimes they have to go out and they just plant and reseed a small area anyway where it dry up and it doesn't grow so well. So I guess it adds that that aspect of taking care of your grass and doing things. But fold that up. That is those two done, and they are limed. They are fully fertilized, so we can pretty much just leave them alone until they grow and are ready to cut. So let's head back to the farm, and I think that's probably where I'm going to leave this one today. We're not going to progress. I'm not going to progress time onto the next day, I don't think. I might head out and get one more of the meadows seeded off screen, so then we'd still have another meadow left. We'll still have the fourth meadow to do, and then because we've still got all of March, we'll then see if maybe there's some seeding contracts, so we can get out, maybe earn a little bit of money while we've got the seeder on lease, and then yeah, if not, we'll just return it and progress away through now April, at which point we will, might sound redundant, we'll lease a larger seeder for seeding the sorghum in there and the sorghum that's going to go in our new field as well. But like I say, that is going to be it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Hopefully I can condense it down into something digestible. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big fat thumbs up down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notification on, find out when new videos are going live. As always, comments and feedback down there. If you'd like to support the channel further, memberships are available. Just click join. It starts from 99 pence. I'm trying to work on a member series at the minute as well, so hopefully I can get that to you at some point. But ultimately, you guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.